In the year 313, one man made a decision that rewired the entire Western world. He did not do it out of faith, he did it out of power. The church you know today, its structure, its authority, its political reach across continents and centuries, was not built by disciples in sandals carrying torches through the dark. It was built by a Roman emperor who understood one thing better than anyone alive. Religion, in the right hands, is the most powerful weapon ever created. Before Constantine, Christianity was illegal. Followers of Jesus met in secret, in basements, in catacombs carved beneath the streets of Rome, whispering prayers in the dark while soldiers hunted them above. For nearly 300 years, the Roman Empire had done everything possible to destroy this movement. They burned their texts. They fed believers to lions in the Colosseum while crowds cheered. They crucified men and women along the roads as warnings to anyone who dared follow this Jewish preacher from Galilee. And yet, Christianity survived, not because of miracles, because it spread among the people Rome had already broken: the poor, the enslaved, the forgotten. Those who had nothing left to lose found something powerful in a faith that told them their suffering had meaning. By the early 300s, Christianity had grown too large to ignore. Scholars estimate that nearly 10% of the entire Roman Empire had converted. 10% of 60 million people. Constantine saw this, and he saw an opportunity. The story goes like this. The night before the Battle of Milvian Bridge, the battle that would decide who controlled the entire Roman Empire, Constantine claimed he saw a vision in the sky, a cross of light, and words written above it. In this sign, conquer. He ordered his soldiers to paint Christian symbols on their shields. They won the battle. Constantine became the most powerful man in the world, and just like that, Christianity went from a persecuted underground movement to the favored religion of the Roman Empire. But here is what they do not teach you in Sunday school. Constantine was not baptized as a Christian until he was on his deathbed, nearly 3 decades after his famous vision. For 30 years, he continued to worship the Roman sun, God's Sol Invictus. He kept pagan priests on the imperial payroll. His coins bore the image of the sun. This was not a man transformed by faith. This was a man who understood exactly what he had found. In the year 325, Constantine did something no emperor had ever done before. He called every Christian bishop in the known world to a city called Nicaea, in what is now modern Turkey, and he told them they needed to get their story straight. Because here was the problem. Christians at that time did not agree on the most basic questions. Was Jesus fully divine? Was he human? Was he both? Was he created by God? Or had he always existed alongside God? Different communities had different answers, different texts, different traditions. Constantine could not use a fractured religion as a political tool. A divided church served no one. So he sat at the head of the Council of Nicaea, not as a believer, but as a chairman, as a chief executive officer of an empire who needed a unified product. The bishops debated, they argued, they threatened each other, and when it was over, Constantine enforced the winning side. Bishops who disagreed with the majority position were exiled. Their writings were ordered destroyed. The version of Christianity that survived the council was not necessarily the oldest version. It was the version that Constantine found most useful. The Nicene Creed, the statement of faith still recited in Catholic, Orthodox, and many Protestant churches today, was born not in a moment of divine revelation, It was born in a political meeting run by a man who worshipped the sun. Everything that followed traces back to that room. The idea that one church holds the authority to define truth, Constantine. The fusion of church and political power, Constantine. The suppression of alternative Christian voices, Constantine. The Sunday worship day, chosen to align with the Roman Day of the Sun, Constantine. Historians are not guessing at this. The evidence is documented across multiple ancient sources, including the writings of Eusebius, Constantine's own biographer, who described the emperor's role in shaping Christian doctrine with uncomfortable clarity. The man did not hide what he was doing. He simply knew that history is written by those who survive long enough to tell it. This is not an argument against faith. This is an argument for knowing where the institutions that shape your world actually came from. Because when you understand who built the house, you begin to understand why every room is arranged the way it is. The story of the early church does not end here. Next week, we go into the room where the Bible itself was assembled, and we look at the books that did not make the final cut, and why their removal may not have been a spiritual decision at all. Subscribe to Sacred Mysteries. The history they buried is still down there. We are just getting started.